where would winning the Walter Payton Man of the Year rank? I mean, you've accomplished a lot, man. How important would that award be, though? Like, it's got to be a cool honor.
It's probably the best award out there, to be honest with you, because it reflects not only on your play, but who you are off the field. It's probably the most coveted award in our game today. What is up, Not Just Football fans? We are back with another episode of Not Just Football with Cam Heyward. I, of course, am your host, number 97, Cam Heyward. And with me, as always, my producer and longtime friend, Hayden Walsh, is here as well. We have a special guest coming off of this week. As most of you know, we had a special week down in Atlanta, and this dude just got his first touchdown. So welcome back, little brother, Connor Heyward. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me, Hayden. What's up?
Bro, you're going to have to talk more than that. We're not doing that. Come on, you're going to have to wake up. I know you just got off the nap. You know, this is coming from the kid who's got no kids, but I'm going to need you to turn up, just like you did in Atlanta.
What's up, y'all? Thanks for having me. But I feel well. I feel good. You know, it was cool to have my first touchdown back at home, but, you know, it's on to Baltimore, and like Coach says, we just got to keep on stacking them.
Thank you, Connor Heyward.
Yeah, I mean, I do want to say thank you for coming on. You're the first reoccurring guest. I don't think we were planning on doing this, but you know, a big weekend this weekend, and thank you for waking up from your nap. And we're sorry we woke you up to come on and talk to us today.
That is the baby of the family. He still gets to sleep.
Yeah, he gets to sleep in. He doesn't have kids. Connor, what was it like though, man? How was it back being home? Ton of Steeler fans in the crowd, and I'm sure you had a bunch of friends at the game. Got the first touchdown. I know you're on to Baltimore, but take us through the moment and how awesome it was to score in Atlanta.
Yeah, it was super awesome. But so Pat had the nice catch and long run, and then next play they subbed me in. He needed a little breather. And then the play actually went, it got blown dead. I didn't know if it was on us or something, but it was blown dead or whatever. It might have been on them. And then Coach Fredo still kept me in. And then we ran we went empty, I think, on the play. And I was number 3 receiver on the inside, and it was a 2 safety look. And when that happens, I have to split the safeties. And the safety kind of had me in the man look, it almost looked like. And he'd been on the out part, and after that, it just, it was Kenny throwing me the ball, and, he put the ball on the money.
Yeah, if you it's funny. Okay, I'm gonna go through this a little bit better because Connor just ran through it. So Pat stumbled down the field, man. He got free, kept his footing, was able to break some tackles. What was a 45 or 50-yard run.
Mm-hmm.
We needed that, moved the ball, flipped the field. We got down, like Connor said, we got a dead ball, and Connor went in for Pat. And then, if you look at that route, that's a route Connor has run so many different times. You look at that play, and if I'm not wrong, that was the same play you ran for the touchdown in Michigan State, right?
It's the same area, but in the Michigan State game, I ran a seam. That was more like a stick nod route. So I'm selling the out, and you can slide step it with one step, or depending on how you're being played, you can kind of sell it with 2 or 3 more steps if you have to. But it's a play where if you catch it, it's going to be in the back of the end zone, and usually it's a little harder than that.
And then how eerie is this? Did you see the thing on Twitter showing you and Dad had the same type of touchdown?
Yeah, it was in the same area, same spot. Andre was showing me that because I get on Instagram a little bit more than Twitter.
He's a Insta.
That's an age thing, Cam. That's just an age thing. That's all.
He's a Finsta. Now I'm like the old dude on Facebook.
I don't have a Finsta. I'm good on that.
Connor, how quickly did you realize you were open? Because from where I was sitting, you beat your man pretty quick. It was just a matter of Kenny getting you the ball.
Yeah. Once I came out the out part of the route, I kind of knew that if he throws me the ball, I was going to score. And luckily he did. hopefully he does that, for more times to come.
Was it moving in slow motion when it happened, when he threw the ball?
Yeah, the ball felt like it was in the air forever. I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
Yo, how worried were you about the feet? How worried were you about your feet though? Because it was at the back of the end zone.
No, I wasn't worried.
You thought you were in?
Yeah, we worked out all the time every Friday. So you practice like you play, and we've been in a lot of situations like that. We work 2-point conversions all the time and being in the end zone. So I felt pretty prepared.
Yeah, like they definitely work those all the time, and you can go back to like training camp, them working the drills versus the defense, and it's like there were times where Connor didn't get both feet in, but now he's getting both feet in, and it just goes back to your practice and your habits. But it was a heck of a play. It was a pretty emotional moment. It was loud as hell in there when you scored. Like everybody was on the edge of their seat and screaming when you scored.
Yeah, honestly, I don't even remember hearing anybody. The only time I really listened to how loud the stadium got was when Minka got the interception and the crowd erupted. But with me, I kind of just zoned out, and before I knew it, Gentry was in my face hugging Najee, George. So everybody was like, "Why you ain't celebrate?" I was like, "You don't everything just happened so fast, and I didn't know what to do. I'm not a dancer or anything."
You didn't have anything ready. You had nothing ready to celebrate with when you scored.
I've never celebrated really. I mean, nothing crazy.
I was getting ready for you to do your gritty dance.
No,
the one you do in the locker room all the time.
No, I can't dance. Nah. Not saying I won't, going forward, but wasn't feeling it right there. Not the first one.
Yeah.
Well, you need to get one for the many more that are coming, okay?
No, and okay, so I'll be honest, when it happened, so the series before I had gotten the sack, and then the next series they went out and he had gotten a touchdown, and man, it hit me, and I was not ready for that moment. I'm glad there was no cameras. Coach T had to come up to me and was just like, "Hey man, get it together. He's a Steeler. Stop making him your brother." And I was messed up. I had to put the helmet over my face. I was like, "Please do not look at me right now." I made sure there was no camera next to me. So, but it was a really cool moment.
Yeah, no, and I actually saw a quote that Coach T said he doesn't talk to Connor, he talks to Cam, and that you were getting pretty emotional during the game. There's actually a clip on Twitter going around. You seemed like it took you over a little bit there, man. It definitely did.
Wait, there's a clip?
There's a clip of you walking off the field talking about how he said you went in big brother mode there for a minute. I lost you for a minute, almost like he lost his captain because you had went to just a proud big brother.
I was. I'll admit it. I was not ready for that moment. Just the day in itself, the week in itself, it had been a really cool week, and just being back in Atlanta. It's funny because Friday we got in town and we were supposed to go to my dad's grave, and my mom texted me when we were on our way out, and she was like, "It's closed, you can't go." And so that kind of upset us, and we were just quiet in the car. And then, we had some people check, and then they were like, "There's no gate, you can just go." And so we ended up waking up that morning and going, and then just I always say this, God and my dad are always working together, and it just, for me to wind up in Pittsburgh, for him to wind up in Pittsburgh, to be back in Atlanta, where we don't know when the next time we'll ever play, or if I'll even get a chance to play there again. But I always relish those moments to go back to Atlanta, because we have family there, we have friends there. After the game, we saw our middle school basketball coach, Sheldon, up there. That was crazy. Me and Connor and our other brother Corey, we all argue about who had the better middle school basketball team, which he said was my basketball team.
No, we were in 7th grade and we beat his 8th grade team. We played them.
You didn't beat my 8th grade team. You beat Corey's 8th grade team.
We're not going to get.
No, I'm saying
middle school guys. Come on.
The team that won the championship the year before us, when we were in 7th grade, we beat them. We were their managers and beat them. We were the GBL team Because now the 7th and 8th graders can play in middle school together. We couldn't.
That just means your 8th grade team was
No,
trash.
because they went undefeated and they beat everybody else.
Yeah, but they weren't us.
All right. You guys stop fighting over the fictitious 8th grade basketball game that can't happen, okay? Cam's team was probably the best because Cam was bigger than everybody and had a beard, so he just dunked on everybody. Okay? That's the problem, Connor. You guys don't have anybody that can match up with Cam. That's the argument.
Yes,
it's over.
did.
Okay?
Yeah. Wow, Hayden took my side for one time.
I saw your 8th grade basketball team. You looked like a teacher playing basketball. It was an unfair advantage.
It was.
Yes.
Cam and them are beating you and Corey in high school too.
Listen, we're moving on. Moving on here.
All right.
Okay. But congratulations, Connor. We're really happy for you, man. And get a dance ready for the next time you score, dude. We want to see you do something after you put the ball in the end zone.
I'm a nay-nay.
Yeah. Hey, no, you're not. You're not going to nay-nay. You are not going to nay-nay. No, but I want to ask you, Kenny said that he said something to you before the game. Is that true?
Yeah, before we usually run out, like at the tunnel, we're like always usually like somewhat in the front. You know, Mark is up there in the front getting everybody hype. But we're like kind of like in the middle to the front, and he was just like, let's go get this one for your pops. And then after he threw it to me, he was like, that's for your dad.
That's dope.
Very nice. That's what you like to hear from your quarterback.
Did you get a ball? Did you get to keep the ball?
Yeah, Lou came up to me on the sideline and was like, I got the ball, and then it's in my locker right now.
Okay, we're gonna get that painted up. Make sure it's nice. You can frame that. You got to keep the first one,
but
it ain't the last one. All right. So last question, and I'll let you get out of here. Not even a question, more of a statement. Give me what you think about your offense right now.
I think we're playing really well right now. I think we're giving the defense the time to rest, driving the ball up and down the field. We just got to score a little bit more in the red zone, make those 3 points turned into 6 points, and come in, knock the extra point down. But I think as long as you end each possession with the ball, and it ends with a kick, that's good. A punt, field goal, or just whatever you need to do to win. Flip the field, keep y'all always in a good situation, and I feel like we've been doing that more often than not. But just score more in the red zone, and just not hurt ourselves. I think last game we had too many penalties, but we'll get that corrected tomorrow.
Okay, I'll follow up with this. What's been the turnaround in the run game since the bye? Because I feel like that has been, something that's really improved, and you're seeing our offense really cooking, running the ball.
I would just say from a mindset, the guys up front and all the backs, Najee, Benny, Jalen, and then McFarland, everybody just having that downhill mindset, and if there's not a hole, they're gonna make one mindset. And you see Najee running with that, and leading everybody now, and everybody's following him. But that starts up in practice. I feel like we've just been practicing well, and everybody's just been more locked into the details.
Awesome. Yeah. No, I agree.
Well, we appreciate you coming on. We didn't want to keep you on too long. We know you got to get back to your rest. You just woke up. No, you're not. No, you're not.
You slept through this entire interview, but we thank you for coming on to show us your face.
Look, now he's getting closer to the screen.
Get closer. Don't get closer to the camera. You have.
Yeah.
I'll see y'all.
All right, brother. Appreciate you. Proud of you.
Thank you. See y'all.
All right, people, we're brought to you by Caesars Sportsbook, the greatest sports betting app ever, and honestly, the only one you need. It's not just about the big bonuses and boosts and promos that you get. It's the fact that every time you bet, whether you win or lose, you're earning towards the types of perks only Caesars can offer. Free stays, concert tickets, bonuses, and more. That's because when you download the Caesars Sportsbook app, you become a Caesars Rewards member, and that means perks. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call or text 1-800-522-4700.
Lions, Tigers, and tailgates. Oh my. The college football season is always a great time of year. Besides the jerseys, the face paint, and foam fingers, there's the food. And nothing gets you more fired up for game day than Eckrich smoked sausage. They are naturally hardwood smoked and have the perfect blend of spices. From buffalo sausage dip to sausage chili mac and cheese, Eckrich smoked sausage is a quick way to bring flavor to your tailgate meals. Visit Eckrich.com for easy, one-of-a-kind sausage recipes. Eckrich, you do you.
All right, I want to thank Connor for joining us. Awesome moment to have him on the show, Cam. But I think the one thing I want to talk about now is today you were nominated as the Steelers representative for the Walter Payton Man of the Year. Awesome accomplishment. I think it's a couple years in a row now. I kind of want you to go Nick Saban here, like halftime of the Big Ten Championship, and tell us why you should win.
Why I should win? I will not do that. I'm not going to go Bama route on you because it doesn't even work. But just speaking on the Walter Payton Man of the Year, Walter Payton was a great football player on the field, but a better man off, and the lasting impact he had for those around him, will live on for generations. I've got a chance to interact with his family before. And every time I do, it's like you're talking with your own family, and they're wholesome people. And then just the award itself, you see guys like how we had Anthony, Whitworth on, and hearing Big Whit speak about it, and you see the work he did. J.J. Watt, him donating money when there was a hurricane. Russell Wilson, Calais Campbell. There's been numerous amount of guys. Jerome Bettis, he actually surprised me at the facility and presented me with my nomination this year, which I was not ready for. I was like, guys, y'all got to tell me like at least the day before so I don't look like I'm just waking up going into a meeting. But it's an award that's coveted by it's been held by so many great players in our league. Peyton Manning, and these men who have held it have just gone on to just. They play with their hearts on the field, but they give their hearts off the field, and they make sure they give back to their communities. Everybody's got a different story, and the other 31 men that I'm involved with in being nominated with this award, they're doing great things as well. So it's always a pleasure to give back. I think this award this year has just made me think about what my mom and dad have given me and allowed me to understand the power of parents and the power of loss. For me especially, I got to learn from my dad and my grandfather, Rufus Jordan, who was a teacher for over 30 years in the Pittsburgh community, and then went on to be a part of the Board of Education. And even when I'm out in the community, as much as I hear about my dad, I hear about my grandfather as well. And I hear how much he did for teachers and how much he was able to affect the community. I was out at the grocery store literally today, and she said the Board of Education would be so much better if they had a Rufus Jordan today. And they wouldn't have the problems they had because they had Rufus Jordan. And I hear about how he stuck up for teachers and gave them extra support and went to bat for teachers. And this climate we're in now is not easy on teachers, to say the least. So those have been my role models. They've helped mold me. And, if I'm ever worthy of winning that award, those are besides, I have to give credit to my dad, I have to give credit to my grandfather, but I also have to give credit to my mom because, they helped raise me. They showed me how to give back and how to, connect with my community. And I always look forward to doing that.
Yeah, and I know we've talked before about it, but I think you have two programs, one honoring your dad and one honoring your grandpa. Tell us a little bit about those and what you do with the community in those.
Yeah, so we've started the Craig's Closet initiative a couple years back. We now have 6 locations, and we're working towards 10, where we go inside schools or inside of places that are community-based, where a lot of people go, where we set up closets or not even closets, but bigger rooms, where we have suits that are donated, ties, nice shirts, belts as well. And my dad's biggest thing was when he was in high school and college, he only had one suit. So now we get to do the same for another person and provide a suit for a young man who has college interviews, job interviews, proms, homecomings, you name it. And if you just need a suit because you need to feel good, because that is very important for a young man's going forward. And then, if you look at what we've done for my grandfather, when my grandfather passed away, we decided to do little libraries. We actually have one little library outside my grandparents' house up in East Liberty, Pittsburgh. And it's a little library where we built like these almost like bigger birdhouses. And you put in books and you take out books. And, it's for people to read. We put in kids' books. We put in financial literacy books, any type of book. Because, not many people have the amenities to even make it to a library. So providing them opportunities to read is big. My kids love to read, and I want them to understand that, it's not just a given right to read, but it should be. Every kid should have the, fundamentals and the resources to be able to read a book.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. I've known about you doing that for a long time, and it's always so cool that you do. Where would winning the Walter Payton Man of the Year rank? I mean, you've accomplished a lot, man. How important would that award be, though? Like, it's got to be a cool honor.
It's probably the best award out there, to be honest with you. I know Super Bowls are one thing and MVPs, but the Walter Payton Man of the Year, because it reflects not only on your play, but who you are off the field, it's probably the most coveted award in our game today. And it's the best award individually. Obviously, I work towards the Super Bowl, and I bleed, sweat, and shed tears just for this game. But the Walter Payton Man of the Year is something special.
Yeah, we need to get you this year. You've been nominated enough, okay? So thank you for going full Nick Saban here. I think it was about 7 minutes. You just went, great job. Nick Saban would be proud of what you just did.
At least I can get it. Hopefully I can get it done.
Yeah, you got to get in the top 4, though, because Saban couldn't pull it off. But great work, man. Really proud of you. And let's get you this W on the Walter Payton Man of the Year.
Appreciate it.
So how was it playing back home this weekend, man? It was like a home game.
Man, it was fun. I loved going back to Atlanta. That was just a fun atmosphere to be a part of. I've always relished just places my dad's been. In college it was, or even in high school, we had our semifinal for the state championship in the Georgia Dome, and I love that. In college, to end my career, my college career, we played in the Sugar Bowl in New Orleans, Superdome, and my dad played there as well, so I relished that moment as well. I like to think I was part of that win. Anytime I get to go back to any of the stadiums he played for or played against, I love it. And I really do feel like I'm connecting with him again. And then, it wasn't just my dad. It was like all my friends and family. Like my wife got to come down and, hang out with you guys and, having that fan base again of just friends and family was just really cool. Obviously, the Steeler fans travel extremely well, but it was a fun atmosphere to be around.
No, man, it was awesome. And like you said, the Steeler fans were out. Like it, and I've always wanted to ask you this. It felt like Sunday could have been that. Where is the place that you like really looked around and were like, holy crap, this is a home game?
Oh man, Atlanta has always been one of those places because I've known of all the Steeler fans that have been in Atlanta, and there are tons of them. But when we go out the West Coast, it's probably a tie between Arizona and the old San Diego Charger Stadium was kind of crazy. It was even crazy when we played in the San Diego Charger Stadium because they even played Renegade for a second, and we were like, man, what is going on? They really are trying to turn this. And then they tried to do like the Rick Rubin thing. But like, it was just like, you already started Renegade. So like now everybody's feeling it is like, oh, you really want to do a Renegade. So like everybody's on our side. And so it's fun to play places and take over the crowd. It's like, walk in your trap and take over your trap.
No, man. When Connor scored, like I think we talked about it, when Connor scored, it was loud. But when Minka got the pick too, late to finish that game off, it was loud, man. It felt like too, every time Atlanta was on offense, they almost needed to go silent count or they couldn't hear. That has to be a really cool feeling though, to know the fans, even when the year hasn't gone maybe the way you guys wanted to at the moment, that they're still traveling out and coming to support.
Yeah. Our fans are very loyal. Obviously, we're not with the best record right now, and we got to work towards that. But our fans have remain loyal and keep fighting with us every way. So I'm looking forward to going on the road and keep trying to get these W's and seeing our fans standing up and being loud.
Yeah, man, just keep stacking them. That's all you need. You guys got a shot here. All right, so I did want to talk. There was a moment on the sidelines. George Pickens seemed a little frustrated on Sunday. Tomlin kind of dismissed that today and said that he wants a guy competitor. But I also saw you went up and talked to George. You don't have to tell us what you said, but what did you feel in that moment? You need to go up there and kind of spread some wisdom to the young guy.
I honestly didn't know what all was going on, but I could just tell in his body language that, he needed to pick me up. As a captain, as a leader, I'm always going to have my guys back. I just said, George, this game's gonna keep coming your way. One game, one play, one series is not the end of George. When it's not looking your way, you look for other ways to be better. And, we got the W. That's the main point. But, man, we like George's hunger. George is going to be a heck of a player in this league for a very long time. When he's able to mold that into his game and continue to keep growing, he's going to be a hell of a player.
Yeah, no, it was cool to see you go over there and talk to him a little bit. And like I said, Tomlin said today that, he doesn't maybe like the way that he was expressing it, but still wants the guy to have that hunger. But speaking of Tomlin, did you see his other viral moment when he was walking on the field? The video that's gone, like 2 million people have seen it. Have you seen it?
How is that viral?
What do you mean, how's it viral? Everybody was talking about it.
Well, yeah.
Where he told the guy, I'm effing working.
Well, they shouldn't have been back there in the first place.
I know. That's weird, man. It's weird in Atlanta how, like, I was in that room and, like, I looked behind me and y'all were walking by. It's really kind of a strange thing how they make you guys walk by in that class.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. It's like we're treated like zoo animals, it feels like. Like, it's just I'd rather just walk out and be with the fans rather than me walking in and it's like, oh, there's Cam walking through the glass.
Yeah, I remember pounding on the glass and you didn't look. It was kind of upsetting. You didn't even acknowledge me as I was pounding on the glass. I almost mooned you, honestly, to show you what I was doing it there.
Sorry, babe. Not interested.
All right, one more thing on the Steeler fans. They travel better than any fan base you've ever seen?
For the NFL.
Really?
There's another team I'm very fond of that travels pretty damn well too. I think, and we'll get to them later, but I'll say for the NFL, Steeler fans travel better than anybody. I think Steeler fans and Packer fans probably travel the best.
What about Buffalo?
Oh, Buffalo is very good as well. I got to give credit to them. What was it? I think it was like week 1, Buffalo was playing the LA Rams, and you saw Buffalo take over that stadium. It was really cool.
I mean, can we not agree, though? Anybody who plays the Rams pretty much seems to take over the stadium. Like, listen, man, the 49ers have had 4 home games there the last time they played.
I know. Like, it's not – I don't know. Those LA games, they got Lakers games, you got Dodgers, you got Angels, then you got the Rams, and you got the Chargers. So I think everybody's a little bit busy.
That's got to be a little tough, though. Like, if you got to go silent count at home, that would be kind of annoying as a player, I feel like.
Yeah, silent count at home is kind of crazy. Like, you want that home field advantage because, especially for a defense, we thrive off of a home field advantage because we're loud. We got to get you to talk more, and then we can start to pick up on your signals. And then if you're not able to, be cohesive through your unit, that's when you really start to get penalties, false starts, you name it. And then that's where, defense can really thrive. It's the best time of year. Football season is in full swing. Basketball and hockey have returned, and nothing beats seeing your favorite team live. Make up for lost time and go enjoy a game. Vivid Seats, the official ticket partner of ESPN, is offering you $10 off your first $100 ticket purchase with code NJF. That's code NJF. Download the app or visit vividseats.com today. Vivid Seats. Life happens live.
All right. Well, Cam, I don't know. Me and you were talking earlier today, and you sent me a clip of Deion Sanders addressing his Colorado team for the first time. How would you react to Deion saying he's bringing his own luggage and it's Louis?
This is the thing. Like, I feel like you can react as like a fan, like looking at it, and then you have to react as the player. Like, as the player, you're like, oh snap, he's trying to replace me. Like, and the competitor in me is like, he's not going to be able to replace me. I know how good I am, and like, he's going to have to, just because he's bringing in Louis doesn't mean there's not Louis here. And so, but as the fan watching it, I was like, ooh, he kind of went in right there. And, I think Deion's going to demand a lot. It was kind of funny to watch him say, I already got my quarterback, my son's coming there. And then he tried to like walk it back and say like, he's going to have to work for it. But, I think you got to create a culture where you're not weeding out, but you're making sure this team is not going to live with the level of success they've had previously. So it's going to be interesting. He says he's bringing in Louis. He better win quick because that's not going to be Louis. That's going to be like, I don't know what, a knockoff bag or something if he doesn't get it right.
Well, in his defense, they were 1-11 last year.
Right.
They're on a 6-game losing streak. They're not very good, so I don't know if there's that much Louis in the building, if we're being honest about it. But I am curious though. Like, does this conversation happen a lot more when coaching changes are made and it's just not made public like he did? He made it.
I think so. I think when Urban finally went to Ohio State, I don't know what he said. But I do know he was running guys into the ground and said, just quit. I want you to quit. And so, I think that really happens a lot with the new regime because they feel like they want to bring in new players. And we got to understand, guys, like there's like 1,300 players in the portal now, which is crazy. It's no holds barred now. Like any guy is available now to come in the next year and play right away. So now, like, you have to be at the top of the list or you're falling behind almost 1,000 different guys and so many guys fighting for scholarships. And then you got to bring in the freshman recruiting class. So not a lot of people talk about it's just the transfer portal. No, it's the transfer portal plus all the incoming freshmen. And they're all fighting for the same scholarships. So it's really interesting, and it's really hard to make your entire team out of a transfer portal, but if anyone can do it, Prime can.
Well, I'll say USC kind of did that this year and almost made the Final Four. So, and I do think he got a great quarterback, and Deion's kid's pretty good too. So I guess my question to you is, how quickly do you think he could turn it around? And then my question is, how quickly is he gone from Colorado and in the SEC or the Big Ten?
What does turning around look like?
I mean, Cam, one win last year. I think if they're bowl eligible this year,
wins, they turn it around.
2 wins, they've improved. But I'm thinking 5 to 6 wins in a bowl game is, I mean, that's an amazing job, especially in that conference.
Yeah, and it's going to be really cool to see. What is Colorado in the
Pac-12?
Pac-12? Okay,
Yeah, they're Pac-12.
I gotta understand because I'm still thinking like Colorado is not part of it because when I played it was different.
Yeah.
But you look at it, it's like if he's able to make a premier bowl, man, the sky's the limit. You give that guy the opportunity to coach anywhere when he's doing stuff like that. I've always thought Prime's going to wind up back at Florida State somehow, or he's going to wind up taking Saban's job when he's done, but that won't be for a while. But you look at it and say, if he's able to succeed at such a prominent place in a Power 5 conference, now we're looking at 12 teams, guys. 12 teams are going in the college football playoff. So now if he gets to the number 12 spot, what are we saying? Like, any job's available. And so it's going to be really cool going forward to see, these teams that were always on the brink of making it, like a UCF or, all these different teams that might not have been the premier job. They are going to be on the spotlight now because of this college football and, with the 12 teams. And I could see Prime, 2 to 3 years in, really taking off.
Well, and if he takes advantage of the transfer portal, I mean, Michigan State had a year where they, went 11-2 or whatever because they had mainly guys out of the portal. So, I mean, it's definitely possible to get good quick. And I'm glad you mentioned the college football playoff because 4 teams were announced over the weekend.
The last 4.
3 teams earned it. 3 teams earned it, and then 1 sat at home and was just given a chance to play in the Final Four. But what'd you think? The Buckeyes snuck in off of mercy.
Wait, 3 teams earned it?
Well, no, 3 teams earned it. 3 teams earned their championship game and actually, got a chance to play for a conference title and didn't get to sit at home over the weekend. I apologize.
I think all teams earned it because you don't just make it off of merit. If we were making off of merit, there's another team that would have said they should have been in.
Well, no. He based that off point spreads. He was like, who would win in the game head to head? Okay, like what are we doing here? I mean, that was ridiculous. You guys, Ohio State deserved to be in. Was I hate to say it, USC losing, you guys were the only option. That's the way it is. And I'm only giving you a hard time about backing in, but I mean, you have to be happy. Now you got a bad draw. I can't believe they didn't make Michigan and Ohio State play each other again.
I was kind of surprised we didn't get that in the first round, unless they want that to be the grand finale, because that's a heck of a grand finale, though. If you get Ohio State and Michigan in the championship, that is the game. Do you know how much they would love hyping that up? ESPN, they would love saying the game is the national championship. And so that would be really cool. But it's going to be very tough. I'm not going to lie to you. They've got a very good team, and Jalen Carter leads that way. Stetson Bennett as well for the UGA Bulldogs. We have a friend that's a big Bulldog fan, and, he's been pumping his chest the last 2 years. So I would love to be the team that knocks him down and makes him feel a little inferior for a little bit, and then we can get that revenge game going.
I mean, that's going to be a tough matchup. It really is. Georgia's really good, probably been the best team all year. And, I'll say this, though. The last time you guys, quote-unquote, snuck in, you went to the Sugar Bowl, I believe, and beat Alabama, and then you won the Natty against Oregon. So if anybody has done it, you guys have done it, and the offense is good. Now, I did see Jackson is out, which hurts. But, let's be real. Marvin Harrison Jr. being your second guy is not your number one now is not a bad thing. He's been that all year.
Mm-hmm. And so, hopefully we learn from our mistakes. Like to think we got our loss out. Let's keep it moving. And so other guys have to step up. I think our running game will be a lot better going forward. We had some guys injured. So we'll see what happens when we get to the college playoff.
Man, that's going to be a fun one. Georgia, the Dogs are going to be ready for that run game. You better be ready, man. They're coming to hit you guys in the mouth. It's going to be ugly, I think. They're going to win by 10 points. They're going to win by.
Alabama did the same thing. Wait, you want to talk about the other side now?
What, TCU and Michigan?
Yeah. Don't run away from it.
I'll say this. I think I would have preferred to play TCU first before Ohio State.
Right.
I think, listen, if we're being honest, Ohio State, I think, is a better team than TCU. I just think they're more talented. Stroud is a very dynamic quarterback. But I say that, and TCU is a good football team.
Don't sleep on Dugan.
We'll see. I think Michigan takes care of business in that. But, I don't want to be too confident. I just think the physicality of Michigan is going to be too much. I think Michigan's going to run the ball on them, and I just think they're going to kind of overpower them.
Hey, you got to be careful because TCU is an explosive offense. You look at that Kansas State game; they were down, and then Dugan really got them going. So you can't overlook a team like that.
No, of course not. I mean, I think, you thinking you have the easy game too as a team is a bad thing because then you start to underestimate the opponent. So hopefully Michigan takes them serious. I know I'm dismissing them, but I hope the University of Michigan is not dismissing TCU. Take them serious so we can go play Georgia or Ohio State in the final.
Yeah.
Some other news, though, clean up here with you. Surprising move here. Baker Mayfield was cut. Do you see who claimed him?
The Rams.
I figured the 49ers would be the team to do that, but maybe they're doing it as like a gamesmanship thing.
Yeah, you never know. Both teams have some injured quarterbacks, and the Rams jumped at it. But you would have thought, I guess the Rams had the higher selection, so that's what it came down to. But good for Baker. I don't think he was getting his time in Carolina, asked to be released. And he's going to a place where Sean McVay is going to put him in a good situation. If anything, Sean McVay can scheme up with the best of them and make sure that his offensive players are featured in the right way. So it'll be good for him. We'll see what happens, and we'll see if Baker makes any noise out there.
You think he could have helped a team like San Francisco? I mean, I know they've got the Mr. Irrelevant playing quarterback right now, so almost a guy with some experience might have helped.
I think in both of those situations, Baker can thrive because it's an offensive-minded coach who's going to make sure Baker Mayfield gets to play Baker Mayfield football. It's not just, hey, we're going to let you sit back. This might be your weakness. We're not going to really, this is how we do it here. No, these offensive-minded coaches, we know what you like. We know what's, we're here for intake, and so we might have to shorten the field, do a couple rollouts, get you playing with your feet a lot more. And when you do that, that allows Baker to be a lot more successful, I think.
Yeah, I think San Francisco would have been cool too because I love that roster. I mean, I think they got skill guys all around them. They can run it. And I mean, I just think he would do really well in that. All right, well let's get a little update here. You got a big matchup, divisional matchup with the Ravens this weekend, a must-win game. You know what I mean? 5-7, got to get to 6-7. Looks like Lamar is out. So how do you prepare now for Huntley?
Huntley, we got to play last year, and we needed that one last year. Huntley's a very good quarterback, very sneaky. If you don't take care of your business. He's mobile, throws a good ball, throws a great seam ball down the middle to Mark Andrews, and now they've got another tight end as well that's doing pretty well, a young guy. And they've added some pieces. Their wide receivers, you got a guy like Deion Jackson, Gus Edwards can run the ball, and they have a lot of misdirection and a lot of things to really test you. So you really got to make sure everybody takes their keys, everybody is able to, bottle up the quarterback and make sure he doesn't scramble because Tyler Huntley is definitely capable of winning games in this league. So it's going to be tough, but I'm looking forward to the challenge.
How similar is it to playing Lamar?
Well, Lamar is Lamar. Like, the dude is electric. Like, he's going to be one of the highest paid sooner or later, but it's not like Tyler Huntley is any slouch. The dude, makes if you underestimate him, he will make sure you pay for it. It comes down to everybody buying in, locking in. You can still run a lot of zone reads, but with Lamar out, you just don't know. So it's definitely going to be win by committee rather than win by one person. And we got to make sure we do a great job of everybody staying locked in.
Yeah, no. How different is this week? I saw Tomlin talking about some of the December matchups with the Ravens. This feels to me as close to a college rivalry week as anything you guys have on the schedule. Maybe Cincinnati as well and Cleveland. The division games are important, but Baltimore feels like a game that feels like Michigan, Ohio State or something like that.
It's weird because in rivalry games, you only get one, and we are always scheduled for two. And in years past, you've gotten three because of the playoffs. So, these games, it's always like a slow build, and it feels like these games matter so much more every time you play them. And, it's not bragging rights. It's the right to go to the playoffs most of the time. And these are hard-nosed teams with a lot of Hall of Famers on both sides and a lot of grinding out type of wins that, you want to be a part of. It's always there's a yin to a yang with these guys, right? You got your Chris Boswells, they got their kicker over there. Now we got a young quarterback in Kenny Pickett. They've had Lamar. There's always, we have a Devin Bush. They have a Patrick Queen. They've taken running backs over there, and we have Najee Harris. There's always a flip side. You got Deontay Johnson, and then you look at that other side, and you got some really good corners over there as well. So it's a yin to a yang, and it brings out the best because of the competition. And you got to relish these moments when you play the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, and shout out to the NFL schedule makers. They always seem to make it to where you guys play them from week 12 to week 16, and it's all divisional games, and you've got to always win them. And like I said, these are the next two times you play them this weekend and at the end of the year, 2 must wins. You guys got to win out. So it's all must wins from here on out.
Put up or shut up time. Can't look around. We just got to, take it one game at a time.
Yeah, man. Let's go. Stack another win this week and then on to the next one. Let's go.
Yes. And that is another episode of Not Just Football with Cam Heyward. Thank you guys for listening in and tuning in to our show. It was really nice to talk to my brother today. Had a heck of a game. It was also really cool to talk, seeing Ohio State get back in the picture. And looking forward to the matchup this week with the Baltimore Ravens. Hayden, appreciate you being on as always. Make sure you like and subscribe to whatever platform you have. Also, you can like and retweet on Twitter for Walter Payton Man of the Year or the Pro Bowl. Those are both two big things I'm looking forward to this year. Thank you guys every time for staying tuned, and we'll see you next time.